And Amy said that she was the one who used to be dealing with the books at that period. And so she's the one that Kilroy used to come to, you know, and harass her for information and so on. Eventually they made Garvey go down to the district attorney's office and so on. But he almost went to jail around that. You know, that's right early. One of the earliest American governmental authorities who tried to destroy Garvey, this was 1919 now, this is 3 years after Garvey arrived in the US, was J. Edgar Hoover. I mentioned a minute ago the 1960s, where the government was harassing Martin Luther King and the Black Panthers and all of them, and that whole COINTELPRO stood for Counterintelligence Program, and that whole COINTELPRO operation in the 60s was masterminded by the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and who was the head of the FBI? J. Edgar Hoover. And that's the same J. Edgar Hoover here. I know folks call him Gay Edgar Hoover nowadays. I think they found some photographs of him in a black dress and high heel shoes. Apparently this really happened apparently. So folks started calling him Gay Edgar Hoover instead of J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah. But nevertheless, that's the same J. or Gay Edgar Hoover who was harassing all those folks in the 1960s. That's the same Hoover who was harassing Garvey in 1919. This is totally mind-boggling. Hoover made an entire career of harassing black leaders, and the first black leader, major black leader that Hoover ever harassed was Marcus Garvey. Yes, in my book Race First, I have a quotation there from J. Edgar Hoover. This quotation comes from a secret telegram that Hoover wrote in 1919. And it's very fascinating being a historian, because when you are a historian, you get a chance to sit down in the archives and read, you know, correspondence, letters, telegrams, memos that were top secret when they were written. So here am I in 1972, sitting down in the United States National Archives, and I'm reading a telegram. This is the actual telegram, the original, I'm looking for a copy. This is the actual telegram with all notes in the margin and stuff, written by J. Edgar Hoover, 1919. And he is telling some other official that this guy Garvey, you know, is causing a lot of excitement in New York among the quote-unquote Negroes, the West Indian and American Negroes. That's how he put it. Garvey is causing all this excitement among the quote-unquote West Indian and American Negroes in New York City by his oratory, by his Black Star Line scheme, you know, and he says he's a great orator. This is very interesting. Hoover actually, he's trying to destroy Garvey already, but he still has to praise Garvey in the midst of his attempt to destroy Garvey. He still has to praise Garvey. Garvey is a great orator and whatnot. And so that Hoover then, you know, was part of that early campaign against Garvey. And at this time, Amy Asher too would have been one of the directors of the Black Star Line. And it was the Black Star Line especially that attracted Hoover in this time.